owning a Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow 2 is an experience that transcends mere transportation. It's an embrace of history, a commitment to heritage, and undoubtedly, a financial undertaking. In 2025, while the car itself might be a relatively affordable entry into Rolls-Royce ownership, its ongoing upkeep demands a considered budget. This comprehensive breakdown aims to shed light on the various expenditures you can anticipate, all presented in pounds sterling, to give a clear picture of what it truly means to be a custodian of this automotive legend. Running costs, the day-to-day and not-so-daily realities. The immediate costs associated with simply using your Silver Shadow 2 are perhaps the most predictable, yet they vary significantly based on how much you plan to drive this magnificent beast. 1. Fuel consumption. The Silver Shadow 2, with its robust 6.75-litre V8 engine, was not engineered with fuel economy in mind. Expect a thirst for petrol that would make modern hybrids blush. Real-world figures typically hover between 10 to 14 miles per gallon mpg, a figure that can drop significantly in urban traffic. Estimating a modest annual mileage of 2,500 miles common for a cherished classic and projecting an average petrol price of £1.90 per litre in 2025, factoring in potential inflation and market volatility, your annual fuel bill could realistically be in the region of £2,000 to £2,500. For those planning longer tours or more frequent use, this figure will, of course, rise proportionally. 2. Insurance. This is one area where classic car ownership often provides a pleasant surprise. Unlike modern equivalents, insurance for a Silver Shadow 2 typically falls into specialist classic car policies, which tend to be more affordable. Factors influencing cost include your age, driving history, where the car is stored garaged is usually cheaper, an agreed valuation, and annual mileage limits. For a Silver Shadow 2 in good condition, an annual premium for a limited mileage policy could range from £300 to £800. Specialist brokers often offer bespoke policies that recognize the care and respect classic owners typically afford their vehicles. 3. Road tax. Vehicle excise duty, VED. Most Silver Shadow 2 models, dating from 1977 to 1980, will fall into the historic vehicle category, meaning they are exempt from VED. This is a significant saving compared to modern vehicles. However, it's always wise to double-check your specific vehicle's registration date to confirm its exact status with the DVLA, especially for vehicles on the cusp of the 40-year rolling exemption. For the vast majority, this cost will be £0 per year. 4. MOT. Ministry of Transport test. While a classic, the Silver Shadow 2 still requires an annual MOT to ensure its roadworthiness. The official maximum fee for an MOT test in the UK is currently £54.85. In 2025, this might see a slight increase, perhaps to £55 to £60. This is typically a fixed cost, but it's important to remember that the MOT itself only checks for minimum safety standards. Any advisories or failures will, naturally, incur additional repair costs, which we'll address shortly. 2. Service costs. Preserving the pedigree. The Silver Shadow 2 demands regular, meticulous servicing to maintain its sophisticated engineering and ensure longevity. Neglecting maintenance is a false economy that will inevitably lead to more significant, expensive issues down the line. Specialist knowledge is key here. A local garage unversed in Rolls-Royce mechanics may do more harm than good. 1. Routine annual service or every 5,000 miles. This encompasses the fundamental checks and replacements necessary for any vehicle, but with the added complexity and cost of a Rolls-Royce. Engine oil and filter change. The V8 requires a substantial amount of high-quality engine oil. Expect to pay between £250 to £450, including the specialist oil and filter. Air filter and fuel filters, crucial for engine health. Budget around £100 to £200 for these replacements. Spark plugs. 8 cylinders mean 8 plugs. Replacement cost can be £80 to £150. Brake fluid flush, essential for hydraulic system health. Approximately £100 to £200. Coolant flush, prevents corrosion and ensures optimal cooling. Around £100 to £200. General inspection and lubrication, checking all fluids, belts, hoses, and lubricating suspension points and hinges. This is often part of the labor cost but factors into the overall annual service bill, typically pushing it to £500 to £850 for a standard annual service at a specialist. 2. Major servicing, interval maintenance every 2 to 5 years. Certain components require less frequent but more extensive attention. Hydraulic system service. This is the heart of the Shadow's complex braking and self-leveling suspension system. It uses a mineral oil often referred to as RR363 or HS-type fluid and relies on pressure spheres accumulators. A hydraulic fluid flush, pressure sphere check, and system bleed is critical. This complex job can cost £800 to £2,000, especially if any accumulators need replacement. See repair costs. Transmission fluid and filter change. The automatic gearbox needs fresh fluid and a new filter periodically. Budget £400 to £800 for this specialist task. Differential oil change, often overlooked but important for smooth operation. Around £100 to £200. Steering box lubrication, adjustment, essential for maintaining the famously light steering feel. £150 to £300. 3. Repair costs. When grandeur meets reality, this is where owning a Rolls-Royce can become truly financially demanding. Parts are often bespoke, and the labor required to diagnose and rectify issues can be extensive due to the car's intricate design. It's crucial to use a specialist who understands these vehicles inside out. 1. The hydraulic system brakes and self-leveling suspension. This is by far the most common and often most expensive area for repairs on a Silver Shadow 2. It's a high-pressure system that requires careful attention. Accumulator spheres, nitrogen spheres. These are essentially gas springs that wear out over time. A common replacement item. Each sphere costs approximately £150 to £300, and there are typically 4 to 6 on the car. Labor to replace them can add several hours per sphere, making a full set replacement potentially £1,000 to £2,500. Hydraulic pipes and hoses. Age and corrosion can lead to leaks. Replacing sections can range from £100 to £500 per pipe, hose, depending on complexity and access, plus significant labor. A full system repipe could run into thousands. Brake calipers, prone to seizing if not regularly serviced. Rebuilding a single caliper can cost £150 to £300, while new or reconditioned units can be £400 to £700 each. There are 4 calipers, so a full brake overhaul could easily reach £1,500 to £3,000 plus. Brake pumps, leveling valves. These vital components regulate the hydraulic pressure. Replacements are rare but costly, potentially £500 to £1,500 plus per unit, plus labor. Total hydraulic overhaul. In a worst-case scenario, where multiple components in the hydraulic system fail, a comprehensive overhaul including pumps, spheres, pipes, and calipers could realistically cost anywhere from £3,000 to £8,000 or even more. 2. Engine and gearbox. The venerable L410 volts 8 engine and GM Hydromatic gearbox are generally robust, but age and lack of maintenance can lead to issues. Oil leaks, common due to aged gaskets and seals. Minor leak repairs can be £300 to £800, but major leaks requiring engine removal for full gasket sets can escalate to £1,500 to £3,000. Carburetor issues for earlier models. If equipped with SU carburetors, later models were fuel injected, they may require rebuilding. This can cost £400 to £1,000. Ignition system, distributors, points if not converted to electronic ignition, HT leads, and coils. Overhauls can be £200 to £600. Engine rebuild, a rare but catastrophic event. If the engine requires a full rebuild, expect costs of £8,000 to £15,000 plus, depending on the extent of work and parts availability. Gearbox rebuild. Similarly, a gearbox overhaul can be £3,000 to £6,000. 3. Electrical system. The Shadow II's electrical system, while simpler than modern cars, is susceptible to age-related issues like corroded wiring, failing relays, and switch malfunctions. Diagnosis of electrical faults. This can be notoriously time-consuming and expensive, with specialist labor rates typically £80 to £150 per hour quickly adding up. Expect £200 to £500 just for diagnosis of complex issues. Component replacement. Alternators, starter motors, and wiring loom repairs can range from £300 to £800 plus per component repair. 4. Bodywork and rust. Rust is the enemy of all classic cars, and the Shadow 2 is no exception. Areas like wheel arches, sills, and subframe mounts are susceptible. Minor rust repairs, localized welding and paintwork can range from £500 to £2,000 per affected area. Extensive rust restoration. If significant structural or aesthetic rust is present, a full body restoration could cost anywhere from £5,000 to £20,000 plus, depending on the severity and desired finish. 5. Interior refurbishment. The luxurious interior, while durable, will show its age over decades. Leather repairs, recoloring, small tears or fading can be rectified for £200 to £800. Wood veneer restoration, cracking or delaminating veneer. Expect £300 to £1,500 plus depending on the number of pieces. Headlining replacement, often sags over time. A professional retrim can be £500 to £1,500. Full interior retrim, a complete restoration of leather, carpets, and headlining can range from £5,000 to £15,000 plus for a truly concours finish. IV. The unexpected fund and specialist labor rates. Crucially, always budget for the unforeseen. Rolls-Royce ownership is not for the faint of heart or wallet when it comes to repairs. It is highly advisable to set aside a contingency fund of at least £1,000 to £2,000 annually specifically for unexpected issues. Specialist Rolls-Royce mechanics often charge £80 to £150 per hour for their invaluable expertise, and diagnostic time can be significant before any physical repair even begins. Conclusion for the section. The grand total in summary. While the purchase price of a Silver Shadow 2 might be enticing, the running, servicing, and potential repair costs in 2025 demonstrate. Factor in major interval services or a significant repair every few years, and this figure can surge to £6,000 to £10,000 plus in a given year. Realistic budgeting, proactive maintenance by specialists,